My name is Nikki Miller. I am the owner and designer of Ink and Ivy. We specialize in resin pieces, specifically jewelry and trinket boxes. And today I'm going to walk you through how I make them. These are your ingredients to make a resin piece. No molds. Bam. One dog. Just kidding. Don't let dogs get near this stuff because it can be toxic, and sometimes they can even be really drawn to it for some reason. Flowers. You're gonna need some flowers or something that you can preserve in your resin. 1 part hardener, 1 part resin. You can get this on Amazon. You can get it on Hobby Lobby. You can get it at Michael's, and they accept the coupon. Popsicle stick for stirring. You might want some cups to mix. You can see that one's been loved. Some safety stuff, so some gloves. You're really going to want a tablecloth as well. Anywhere you're putting this stuff, it's disgusting, it's sticky, it's messy, it's awesome. So you're going to want to make sure that you have a place to put it, a designated area, because it's going to get really sticky and gross. Something else that I would have, which I don't have right now, is nail polish remover, because that is the quickest thing to take off the resin off of your gloves, off of your tools, off of your hands. You're actually going to probably want it while you're working. It's like water. Now, before I even start, I like to decide what molds I'm going to use and what I'm actually going to put inside of the molds. You also want to decide what you would like to preserve. So resin is going to preserve whatever you put in these molds. It's going to make it solidify and almost like glass. So I typically use flowers. So I have a variety of different flowers here today. I have some that I picked. I have some that I have bought online. So I am just going to play around with some setup and kind of see what I want to put in certain things. I like using resin is because it is more of a strategic form of art, in that you kind of have to know what you're going to do. You have to have a game plan. So that's why I really like it. I have a lot of different reasons why I like this also, but it is very nice because you get to connect with nature. You get to decide, you know, today I'm going to go down this nature trail and I'm going to pick out these flowers. And it's for you to decide, and you never know what you're going to find. Okay, so now we are going to actually mix our resin. So you will need a cup that you're going to be able to mix with, preferably a silicone cup unless you plan on throwing it out. And then you will also need a measuring cup. Okay, the thing about the resin is that you're going to have equal parts resin and hardener. I would use something that has a measuring cup on it because you're going to want exactly equal parts, or else it's not going to harden the way it's supposed to. So now you are going to go ahead and mix your resin. You're going to want to mix it for 3 to 5 minutes depending on how large of a batch of products you're making. I'm not making that much stuff, so I am not doing that much. So I'm only going to stir it for about 3 minutes. But stirring is one of the most important parts because it is going to get out all those bubbles. So now you have all of your molds that you're wanting to do. You have your resin mixed and ready to go. And now we're going to go ahead and pour. So there are a couple ways you can pour. You can just pour with the spout. You can find something else to pour in. Sometimes I'll use a syringe. It really just depends on what your preference is. Smaller pieces like these, it is a lot easier to use a syringe, but I do not have any on hand today, so I'm just going to very carefully go ahead and pour. So I think that is all I want to add. The final couple things you should do is probably press into each one of these and make sure that everything is as far down as you can get it. that you're not getting a lot of bubbles. And then you might find that you still have a lot of bubbles. Even if you don't, this is just a good thing to do. Take a torch or hair dryer, anything like that, and go ahead and go onto each one of your pieces. And that's it for right now. So we're gonna go ahead and come back in 24 hours and see what we made. Okay guys, it's the next morning, so now you have everything. I would wait at least 24 hours to get all of these out of the molds. You can kind of test if they're still sticky, that means they need more time to dry. But these I think are ready to be taken out of the mold, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. You can kind of see it just pops right out. And it's kind of like a glass little piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and unpop all of these for you. You don't want to force it out. You just kind of want to wiggle it until you can tell that it's ready to come out. And then it'll come out. And sometimes you'll get this little extra. Just go ahead and peel it off. Okay, so I took the resin pieces out of the molds and let them dry, and then I cut off any of the excess. You might find that you have plastic, sort of a plasticky resin around. You just have to take some scissors and snip it, and if the edges are jagged, you might want to take some sandpaper, maybe a 400 grit or some wet dry sandpaper, pour some water on it and kind of sandpaper it. But that's about it. After you're finished and they're dry, you can add some clamps onto them and turn them into necklaces or earrings or whatever you think you might want to turn them into. Okay, well, make sure to add me on Instagram or go to my website if you want to see how I kind of style these or what I turn them into. And thank you so much for watching. And thank you to the Dixon. The Dixon's awesome. Okay, bye.